Are you someone that is seeking validation or looking for approval from others? Then this video is for you. Welcome to the channel, everyone. My name is Spola, and here on Deep Mind Squared, we talk all things altered states and magical practices. And today's video was inspired as a YouTube creator, watching other people create on social media, on YouTube, the importance of how much validation, external validation, can be this motivating factor for us. And sometimes if you're anything like me, I can beat myself up on wanting or seeking that validation, not getting that validation from others. And I think this is just part of our human experience on this planet. So I was doing a bit of reading and just wanting to come to this understanding of what exactly is validation, how does it show up, and is it really that bad? So let me know in the comments, what are your thoughts on validation and the need to seek out that approval from others before we get into this whole video. And that reminder, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so that you're updated on any future video releases. So there's a few different, schools of thoughts around validation. What I was coming across online is either people on the camp of, yeah, validation is no good. You need to completely free yourself from all of that desire to be approved by others. And then the others who are saying, this is just part of the normal human experience. This is validation, or the desire for validation is what helps us to, grow and become more of who we are. So I would say I definitely feel a bit more ease on that side, not feeling like you have to push it away. And so the concept of validation, what exactly is it? Really, what it comes down to is knowing that what I say, what I think, what I feel, it matters to another person. And I think this is what we all desire. It really comes down to our evolution, our biology. There has been this innate part, going back centuries and millennia, where we have felt the feeling of needing to be safe and secure within a group. And so by seeking out validation at a young age, we're better able to be part of that group, which unfortunately, though, sometimes for some people, there's a lot of traumas, a lot of neglect and abuse that happens, and that sense of safety doesn't really happen. Another reason for validation is that it can help us to learn different behaviors, especially from that group or society. So at a young age, we act in certain ways and we receive that validation from our parents. They teach us what behaviors are okay and which ones maybe we need to leave behind. So it's all great if you experience that secure type of attachment. But for many people, it might be more avoidant, it might be less secure than we might like. It could be quite negative. And so learning how to validate oneself might be a bit more of a challenge, and we didn't receive it from the external world. And when that happens, it can be easy then to want to have other people come in and tell you and build up your self-esteem. So if you have low self-esteem, if you're maybe a bit more hard on yourself, or maybe you feel lonely, these are reasons why we might try to seek out validation from other people. But the important message I want to leave you with today is the fact that it's up to you ultimately to validate yourself first. And I think if we can start to catch ourselves in these sort of negative mindsets, or feeling like, oh, I'm not worthy, or I'm not being seen or heard the way I would like, it's like, how can you start to do that for yourself? And again, this isn't about saying that all validation from the external world is not good. It's just that we need to find balance, as with anything. And as humans, we have this innate need or desire to be accepted, to feel safe within the group, to be seen and heard. But we also need to learn to give that to ourselves, because no one is really going to understand what you're going through and what you are creating or putting out into the universe. You ultimately are that one. And it can be something that comes up that, you create a video, you create content, it goes out into the world and people see it, great. But sometimes there's a lot of actions that we take that people don't see. Maybe you're trying to lose weight and create healthy eating habits in your life. Well, then something you might do is decide not to eat that unhealthy food item that you usually go to after work. But, you know, if you don't have anyone that really understands what you're going through, you have to validate like, wow, I made that healthy choice now for the 5th day in a row to not go and purchase that delicious food item. You are the one that ultimately gets to build yourself up. And when you also start to do that, then the world starts to mirror other relationships, other interactions with people that also start to empower and validate you. But you don't become attached to the need to receive that validation from them. You receive it in your heart and it feels great. And then you continue on doing what you're doing because you love what it is that you're doing and it lights you up. And the reason I wanted to create this video today was kind of inspired by a recent incident where I write articles for a magazine, and sometimes I get feedback, other times I don't. And this one particular article, I received this feedback from the editor, and it like lit me up inside. I was like, oh my gosh, like they really liked this article and they gave me this like feedback, and it like really boosted something internally. And when I think about it, it's like going back to my childhood and when I would write an art, like an essay or a paper or do my homework and I did well, I would get positive feedback, whether from teachers, from my parents, and it made me feel loved and accepted. Other times though, that kind of was missing, it seemed. So we can see how like the neurochemistry, like I would describe it was like a dopamine hit, like, yeah, reward system, like you did it. That's so great, Bola. Now I want to like continue producing from that like same, I guess, level that I think, or at least this other person thinks, because I also think the article was pretty great, was like, you know, what they wanted. And that can be okay. But what happens many times is we start to only do what other people want us to do and to only like act in a way as long as we're getting that positive feedback. And like that is not the healthiest thing. That's why I think what's happening with a lot of social media now is that, especially as a creator, you know, you create content, you want people to see it. And then after a while, if you start to create certain content, you might start to lose a sense of self and lose a sense of truly creating from that like inspiration based on what other people are saying or thinking or doing around what it is that you are putting out into the world. So just that reminder to you that it is possible to create the shift, to be in healthy relationship with validation from others and from self as well. And I would say that the best ways to do that are to build awareness. Be mindful of your behaviors, the reasons why you might be doing things. I feel like for many of us, that kind of inkling internally that like, am I wanting validation from others in this? And why am I seeking that? Those types of questions start to come up when you're at the brink of creating the shift into a healthy relationship with validation. And then from there, being willing to change. And how do you make the change? You know, checking in, going into meditation and just being still, asking questions about, okay, what is this really trying to show me here? What about this can I come to a new understanding about? And anything that doesn't allow that with total ease and clarity, like, let's just get rid of that. And then trust that the answers, the insights are going to come to you. And you might also come across different ways to create those healthy shifts in your life. Journaling around what's going on around your fears, around, you know, the kind of underlying reasons for the sense of unworthiness and the feelings of not being valued can be very powerful. And sitting with that discomfort, the shadow aspect of like, I'm feeling like I need others to see me. That's not bad. It's okay that you feel that. So whatever guilt or shame might be coming up around that, just invite you to let that go and to just recognize that all humans have this innate desire to be validated, to be seen and heard. And we are moving through this ascension, this understanding of ourselves so that we can fully come like from heart space. And if it's becoming more and more of a challenge for you, I guess the last step really, and this can be the hardest step, is to just stop asking or stop seeking the validation. If this means that, you know, you have social media and you can't help but go and look on there constantly, then get off social media. Even if it's only for like a week or a day, just set that boundary for yourself and see what comes up during that time. I know for myself, I've spent like periods of like either just days, weeks, or months off social media, and it has been very rewarding to learn different things about myself as I go through that kind of withdrawal and why am I showing up in certain ways that I am. So I invite you to give that a try if you feel called. So there you have it. I hope that you learned something from this video. Feel free to let us know in the comments, what is your relationship with validation? Maybe what are ways that you are seeking validation and how you're coming to terms with validating yourself. And until the next time, I will see you all soon. Bye.